Some women don't chase, and yet they're never forgotten. It's not because they wear a mask of power, or even because of their beauty. It's something deeper, something far more magnetic. It's a quiet force, a presence that doesn't demand to be seen, but is seen, undeniably, by those who encounter it. In the silent dance between the feminine and masculine, there is an undercurrent of desire that can never be fully articulated. He moves through life, thinking he controls everything around him. But in truth, it's the woman who holds the key to unlocking the secrets he's buried deep within himself. He doesn't know it, but every time he looks at her, he's not just seeing her, he's seeing the parts of himself he's too afraid to confront. The parts that remain hidden in his unconscious, the shadow of his own fears, desires, and projections. She knows this. She knows that the key to a man's soul lies in the depths of his ego. He wants to control, to possess, but in doing so, he forgets what it truly means to feel. And that is where she holds power. She understands that attraction is not about the chase, it's about the space between them, the silence, the absence. It's in her detachment that his hunger grows. In his mind, she becomes the woman who is always out of reach, a riddle he cannot solve, a dream he cannot quite grasp. But here's the truth. She doesn't need to make him desire her. She already knows how to pull him in without lifting a finger. She stands apart, not out of weakness, but out of strength. She's already faced the darkness within herself, the shadow that he projects onto her. And because she has done that, because she has seen herself for who she truly is, she has no need for external validation. Her worth is already known to her. And because she knows her worth, she can remain untethered to his projections. She is no longer the woman he wants her to be. She is the woman she has already chosen to become. The anima, the feminine soul, calls him, but she does not chase him. She lets him come to her. When a man sees a woman like this, he feels something stir deep inside him. A longing, an unspoken need. But this is not the typical yearning for possession. This is a call to his own individuation. The man may not be consciously aware of it, but what he is really longing for is not the woman herself. It's the woman who reflects the parts of him he has yet to integrate. His own anima, the feminine aspects of himself, long buried in the confines of his ego. As the woman remains silent, unyielding, detached, he begins to experience a strange sense of loss, not for her, but for himself. The chase becomes something more than a desire for her touch or her attention. It becomes a deep longing for something within him. And that, you see, is the crux of it. The woman who doesn't chase is not the object of his longing. She is the catalyst for his soul's awakening. She is the one who calls him to face his own shadow. She will not beg him for affection. She will not bend to fit into the mold he has created for her. She will not drown in the chaos of his projections. No, she stands firm, unwavering. Her strength is in her silence. Her power is in her absence. The more she pulls back, the more she refuses to be pinned down, the more he feels his own inner world unravel. He finds himself chasing her not because of who she is, but because of who she forces him to confront, the man he has yet to become. But she is not playing a game. She is not trying to seduce him into submission. No, she is simply being. She is living in her own truth, her own wholeness, and it is this authenticity that lures him in. It is this peace she carries within herself that makes him need to find his own peace. He doesn't chase her out of desperation. He chases her because he recognizes, somewhere deep within him, that she is the missing piece of his own soul. The silent part of him that he's ignored, or pushed down, or tried to escape. But there's no escaping her, and there's no escaping the pull she exerts, and yet she never reaches for him. She stands apart, not out of fear, but out of understanding. She knows that he must come to her on his own, or not at all. She knows that real desire cannot be forced. It must grow in its own time. She allows him the space to feel his own longing, and in doing so, she awakens him, not just to her, but to himself. The woman who knows her own power does not need to manipulate or control. She does not need to be adored, worshipped, or possessed. She simply needs to be whole. And in that wholeness, she becomes magnetic. She draws him not with words, not with promises, but with the quiet, undeniable force of a woman who is sovereign in herself. So when she walks away, when she leaves him standing there, lost in the shadows of his own mind, it is not weakness, it is strength. For in her silence, in her detachment, she teaches him the most important lesson of all, that true power lies not in chasing, but in being. She is not a prize to be won. She is the mirror he must face, the part of himself he must reclaim if he is ever to become whole. The woman who walks away in silence isn't weak. She simply sees more. She sees the man he could be, if only he would stop chasing what is outside of himself and start confronting the longing within. She sees that the only way he can truly possess her is by first possessing his own soul. And this is the real secret. The woman who doesn't chase doesn't need to. She is the one who makes him chase, not with words or gestures, but with her very essence. Her detachment, her mystery, her wholeness becomes the powerful force that pulls him in and makes him long for something greater than himself.